is Nancy. I'm here to tell you about my journey of faith and how I came to accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. I grew up in California in a family of 4 people. My parents were active in the church, and they took my sister and me to church every Sunday, and we went to church summer camp in the summer. My family, however, was a dysfunctional family in many ways, and my sister, who's 7 years older than me, was largely responsible for my upbringing, as my mother worked full-time and my father, for part of his career, worked in another city and only came home on weekends. So my sister was a dominant force in my life, and she did not like me. She resented me. Perhaps she was jealous. She called me the idiot, and I had to do her chores as well as my own. When I grew up and graduated from high school, I left and went away to college, trying to get as far away as I could from that dysfunctional family life. And I ended up getting married at age 19 and moving to another state. I thought my life was fixed at that point. But unfortunately, 6 years later, my husband left me for another woman. And I was completely devastated. The only thing that I felt I could do at that time was start a career. So I really invested heavily in my career. And at this point, I drifted away from the church. I felt that I was not worthy of being loved by God. After all, I was a failure at a marriage, and my parents disapproved of me, and my sister hated me. So I went into a career. And early years in the career were great, but I had chosen a career that mainly only men pursued at that point, because this was in the late 60s, early 70s. And I went into university teaching in that career, and I suffered a career setback, which to me was devastating. I was ridiculed by a bunch of students, all male students, who thought that a woman should not be teaching this particular subject. And they made my life absolutely miserable, and I was already feeling worthless after the failed marriage. So I went into a severe depression. I felt nothing but despair, despondency. I felt unworthy, like I was even subhuman. Nobody would want me. And it was then, after months of depression and seeking professional help to solve my depression, I turned to God, and I remembered from my childhood that God is love, and that God is merciful, that God didn't create me as a worthless thing, that there was some good in me somewhere that could be useful. And it was that point I knew I turned my life to Him, and I said, guide me, direct me, I am yours, Lord. I've failed. I've tried to meet everybody else's expectations except yours, and I've made a mess of my life. Please lift me up. And He did. An amazing thing that those who are in despair like I was have to realize. You don't have to lift yourself up by your bootstraps. God will lift you up if you only ask for forgiveness, for mercy, and for guidance. He is the only source of hope there is, and the only source of granting you purpose in your life. I hope that this story of my journey to faith will help you as well. Thank you very much for listening.